Ali Mokdad, and today I have a very special guest in the studio, one of the few female fighters in the region, Maz Fade. Maz, mother, designer, and fighter. How did you get into fighting?
Basically, in Sydney, I just started up as a hobby. I literally drove past a martial arts gym and walked in, inquired about the classes, and next thing you know, I'm fighting.
And how many years have you been fighting?
Well, I took a break, obviously, because I had children for 4 years, but it started about maybe 9 years ago. But it, like I said, it was on and off, so it hasn't been 9 years straight. So.
And being a fighter in the region, you're not only smashing the global norms, but the cultural norms. So does your family object to what you do, and do other people, do they ever give you, do they ever tell you what you're doing is wrong?
Well, as you can imagine, it's not, taken very positively. People question me all the time, why are you doing this? Why would you want to do this? Your face, like you shouldn't, ruin your face. Just stuff like that, but it doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's one of the things that you have to overcome with most things. So I just take it and,
But you're also a fashion designer, is that correct?
Swimwear.
Swimwear. So what do you prefer to do?
I can't really answer that because I enjoy both, because the swimwear is the very feminine side of me, and the fighting is, I was going to say I'm not an aggressive person at all, but it's more, the sport and the fun side.
The competitive side.
The competitive side of me, exactly. So I love bringing, the two worlds, and obviously the fighting, the training that you have to do keeps me fit to wear the swimwear. So I love bringing the two worlds together.
I was just going to ask you about that, because we said you're a mother too, and you're staying so fit. So what are your secrets?
Secrets. I guess it started a long time ago with my family. They brought me up really well, and with just healthy eating choices. We never had junk food in the house, no soft drinks. So just real healthy diet from a young age, always into sports. And always in moderation, so I don't eat junk food, maybe, once every so often, pizza or burger or chocolate or something.
We have to all
you have to indulge
right?
sometimes, but it's, I keep everything in moderation. I eat healthy, make sure, lots of vegetables, healthy carbs, sweet potato, quinoa, lots of green foods.
What about your training regimen? What would you do? Like, if someone wants to look as good as you and train as hard as you, what would you tell them? Basically,
my biggest thing is to try push people into lifting weights. That obviously it burns. Well, people don't actually know, but it burns more fat than to do just cardio. Eating right. Eating is the most important thing. If you don't eat well and then you train at the gym, it's not going to really do anything for you. They always say you can't out-train a bad diet, So, but with training for fighting, it's completely different, because you have to incorporate, the strength, conditioning, weightlifting, as well as cardio into that. You have to make sure you're, running enough or doing some sort of cardio to keep your endurance up, for the rounds that you have to do. So, talk to me about being a female fighter in the region. Do you feel you empower other women to follow in your footsteps? I feel like, yeah, I do. I mean, especially, on Instagram, I get so many messages saying, thank you, you inspire me, you motivate me. But I still feel there's a stigma behind women coming in and doing some sort of martial arts training. When I get girls coming in and they're like, oh, don't beat me up. Why would I beat you up? It's not, you know what I mean? Unless you're training to fight, there's not going to be any sort of contact, because we're going to be using only pads. It's called pad work. So basically, you're going to be punching or kicking pads and not the other person. Unless you want to get into fighting, then that's completely different. So I'm trying to just break down the stigma of females coming in doing Muay Thai or MMA or kickboxing or boxing even, because there's this thing behind it. They see my photos, or they see, I've got bruises, all over me. It's like, but I do a completely different type of training that I would train you for. So you're training for a fight, and they maybe want to train for fitness. Just for fitness, or self-defense, or whatever it is. So. One final question before I let you go, Maz. When is the next time we could see you in the cage or in the ring? Well, I would love to do that as early as possible, but I'm actually preparing for a surgery on my shoulder. So inshallah, after that, the doctor said I'll be 100% after that. So maybe a couple of months.
Well, as we say in Arabic, salamtik. We look forward to seeing you very soon in the cage. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak.
Thank you.